Hey, what's up, Atlanta Fringe? I'm Eli. We're here at Do You Validate Studio, and I'm talking today with Danna and Heather of the Imaginary Podcast Network about their show, Let Me Say This About That.
Yeah.
Y'all, welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're in from Minneapolis,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's hot down here.
And you got a lot bigger leaves on your trees.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it does when you think about it. Yeah.
It is a very hot weekend, but your show is in an air-conditioned room.
Yes.
People should definitely come
Yes.
see it. Let them know what they're in for when they sit down.
The title came from my mom. Whenever she would just like interrupt with a thought, she would say, "Let me say this about that." And so the idea for the podcast came about the belief that Heather and I can talk about anything. And everyone has a podcast, so why not us? We have a lot of improv training and performance between the two of us. And so we put this improv show together. It's based on audience suggestions of genre, and then we do 3 improvised podcasts based on those genre suggestions. Sometimes we know a lot about the topic, and sometimes we know nothing about the topic.
Just like a podcast.
Yeah, just like a podcast.
Yeah.
We also do advertisements suggested by the audience.
Amazing.
Yep.
It's both the life in the podcast, but it's also the life that happens as you're producing a podcast.
Sure.
Whether that's technology or personal relationships or,
Yeah.
I don't know, we had aliens arrive at the Minnesota Fringe.
Yes, it was scary.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You've done this show at many other fringes, you said, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
How's that experience been?
It's been really fun. We debuted it a year ago at the Tucson 2023 Fringe.
Okay.
Why are we promoting them? We have matching shirts.
That's right.
Where we
Tucson.
won an award.
Yep. The Spirit of the Fringe
Yeah,
Award.
so
Very
that really
nice.
gave us some ego to go to other fringes. So then we went to Indy Fringe and Minnesota Fringe and then back to Tucson. And here we are. And then we'll be in Green Bay Fringe.
Yeah,
in
for
2
their
months. Oh,
Inaugural
fantastic.
Fringe.
Yeah, they don't know what they're in for. I was like, oh, you put us in that room. Great. Because nothing's off limits physically. We will never touch the audience.
Right.
But emotionally,
Yeah.
possibly. But
Yeah.
That's the hope.
physically, we enjoy using the space.
Yeah. It's, we start as like a podcast where we're seated, right? Like this.
Sure.
But we inevitably get up and run around and
Yes, I taped Danna to a chair in Indy. And then I didn't realize, I was like, oh, wait, we are going to have to do another scene that's not related to this, where Danna's not taped with electrical tape to a
yeah.
chair. But
I got myself out.
we also have a third person that acts as our producer
Okay.
of the Imaginary Podcast Network,
Yeah.
and that's played by Amber Bjork, who is in All We Have Are Hope, the rest of the long title of that
Yes, the
Victorian
seance
solo
Victorian
solo
show.
lady
Yep.
play.
Yep.
And so she's in the back, just like occasionally, like she, again, improvising what
Yeah.
character that might be. Sometimes very involved and sometimes just on the phone, like a producer sometimes is.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the show grown over all these different performances?
So one of the things, I don't know how this started, but we for a preview, we wanted to have like chords. This is a preview at Minneapolis Fringe. We wanted to have like just a bunch of things that like you would find in a recording studio. And so I had like a Milk crate of chords, and Heather had a bunch of like producing stuff, ring lights and tripods and things like that. And so we just incorporate those now in our show. They're all over the set. And then every time we travel to a new fringe, we get more stuff, or we'll like find things
Or stupider stuff.
or stupider stuff. And so I just have a bag that I don't even look at. I just keep adding to
Yep.
it, and then we pick it up and bring it with us.
And TSA has no problem with bringing a bunch of random chords not organized in both checked and carry-on.
yeah.
Wow,
I carry
okay.
on about 3 dead cell phones
Yep.
and a Palm Pilot and
Walkman.
a Walkman and a CD Walkman.
Yep, a CD Walkman, and we just have. So in some ways, it's very sustainable because we're
Reusing. Yeah.
using all these technologies that we don't anymore. My
Yeah.
favorite is the DVD player, which we didn't bring.
Oh yeah, it's big.
But like Christmas lights, and just sometimes we're pretending they're real, and sometimes the comedy is that's not how that.
yeah.
That'll never work, but
Yeah.
it helps create the chaos of, as you know, working in technology as a medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like your entire set and props list is just that bin in my closet.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly.
It
Yeah.
is.
Exactly.
It honestly
Yeah.
is. Like, had we forgotten them, we probably could have been like, "What's your bin?" Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how's Atlanta been treating you so far?
The food is amazing.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
the food is
Yeah.
so good.
All I want to do is eat all menus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Constantly.
Yeah.
That's the struggle.
Yeah. Like
It's-
fried chicken and grits
And fried green tomatoes, waffles, peaches on the waffles.
Yeah.
I love waffles so much.
Yeah. It's been really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been really nice.
That's
It's
awesome.
lovely. The architecture is incredible.
Oh, good.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just beautiful. And
Yeah.
I mean, it is warm, but for us Northerners, it's nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that. Why should audiences come to your show, this Fringe? They can only see 16 total, so.
Yeah.
Chaos improv that the audience is just as guilty of creating through their audience suggestions.
Yeah.
And also getting out those feelings of like, podcasts really are awesome. I love them.
Yes.
And you can also kind of tease the idea that literally there's probably a podcast about right-angled corners.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I would listen to that.
I've got to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is known for improv, and that's where we grew up and trained, and so we feel like we're, representing our city well.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with improv, it's a great place to come watch it.
And we'll never pull the audience out of the audience. Like, no audience comes on stage.
Correct.
It is only a anonymous yell, so there's no...
We don't make fun of people in the
We don't
front
make fun
row
of
or
people.
anything like
Nobody
that.
has to come on stage. You will not get embarrassed.
Yeah.
So
Only us will get embarrassed.
we will be embarrassed, but you will be anonymous audience. So
Audiences, you will be safe at this show, but you are also responsible for the chaos.
exactly.
Yeah.
But you're responsible as a collective, so
Yeah.
it won't be singling out one person.
Yeah. Well, Danna and Heather, the Imaginary Podcast Network, let me say this about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah.
There it is.
At the Limelight Black Box
Box.
Theater.
Let them know what times they can come see your show.
Yeah.
Oh, a really good time is Thursday today at 10 p.m., but this
Okay.
might not air by then. June 8th at 2:30 p.m. and 8:30. You could double head it.
Twice.
And then Sunday at 4 p.m. because what else are you doing Sunday afternoon?
That's
Exactly.
fair. And it's different every time, so you can go see it
Exactly.
every time and get a different show. That's pretty impressive. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks, everybody, and enjoy your Fringe.
Oh.